think you're a team now? You're herd animals, dependent on someone else to survive.
Chris,
Yeah, what's up?
over 500 studios are working on live service games.
Ah.
That is the headline to this Kotaku article. Some fucking survey they took. 500 studios, dude. Live service games.
I don't even like the sound of live service games. It makes it sound so dirty. And I don't mean like prostitution or anything like that. It's just
I mean,
that's not what games are, you know?
it is a little bit like prostitution when you think about it. Now
Yeah.
that you say that.
Yeah.
They are providing a service and you pay them. Like, this is definitely, these are hooker ass studios making hooker ass games. Not fucking happy about it. Okay, this is out of order for the viewer.
Yeah.
We just talked about Monster Hunter next week.
Yeah.
That technically,
Like, comment, and subscribe.
yes, like, comment, subscribe. Technically, it is a live service, Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Because it's a game that can go on forever. There is an end game. There's loot. There's a grind.
Monster Hunter has the replayability factor as well as post-game content. Like, yeah, there's a main storyline, you can beat that, and that's all fine and well if that's all you want to do. But there's so much more to do after that. You can continue ranking up, your hunter rank, master rank, or sorry, G rank. You can continue grinding monsters. You can try a new weapon. I mean, there's 14 different weapons. That's already 14 times you can play the game and not have the same experience,
12 for me. I refuse to do any bowguns.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. But still, that's a lot more than most other games have, And then you can try different tactics with fighting the monsters and everything. You can try a more aggressive approach. You can try a more slower approach. You can be a little more cautious.
And I think the biggest difference is between not just Monster Hunter. There's a lot of great live service games out there. I think the difference between those great live service games and whatever these 500 studios are about to put out is community.
Yeah.
If the community is shit, it's going to be a shitty game. Warframe, for example, is another great one that, especially the relationship between community and the developers with Warframe is one of a kind. It is it's better than the Monster Hunter community developer relationship. The devs at Digital Extremes actually listen to the community. They don't say, but we really, really want you to see those unskippable cutscenes. Fuck you, Capcom. We do not need to see those. I love Monster Hunter, but please let me skip those cutscenes. I mean, that's the reason I'll never go back to PS4 World.
Yeah.
Now that there's been a mod to skip cutscenes, if I ever go back to World, I'm playing on PC.
That's fair.
Another one that we might hate to admit is an amazing live service game, and that also listens to their community, is Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's pretty bonkers what it's turned into. I really haven't played since year one. I actually I downloaded and logged back in a couple months ago to play, and I got my first solo victory royale ever, which was crazy.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
It was nuts. I must have really pissed off this guy because he was like, this guy doesn't have a skin. I definitely look like a fucking noob. And this guy was blinging. He had like everything on him, and I fucking destroyed him. It's its own platform now. Like, you can make games inside of games. There's the Fortnite Unreal Editor, which I think that's what they made Pal World in, because
that makes sense. Yeah.
It's made in Unreal. It's got all those animations that I think they just made it in the Fort Real and did I say Fort Real?
Fort Real. Yeah.
In the Fort Real engine.
Coming soon.
Yeah. The developers of Pal World have said they didn't know anything about game design or game development. How did they make this game? Right?
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves. That one had to climb a steep hill to become a good game. Like, it was underdeveloped when it launched. The point I'm trying to make here is nobody has the fucking time to play all these games.
Absolutely.
When I played Monster Hunter World, that's the only game I played.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I went over to Warframe, but I would come back to Monster Hunter because I'm like, I've dedicated years of my life to this one game that also didn't ask for anything back.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like pay for 7 DLCs, Destiny. Like, it was just like, here's one DLC, one massive DLC.
Well, and not to mention that DLC is an entire expansion. It's not just we're adding one or two little things. It's you're essentially getting another game. I mean, I wouldn't quite call it a full game,
Yeah.
but it's pretty dang close, you know.
Yeah, G rank, every time they added G rank to any Monster Hunter, it was always like sometimes it's more content than the base game
hmm
just because of all the ranking and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is depressing. The studios are pivoting towards live service games, which I think was the last straw for me on Sony. When the previous president announced that they will be focusing mostly on live service games, I said, I'm definitely never, ever, ever going to get another Sony console again. Like, I'm
Yeah.
done with it. Like, this is bullshit. Now they're doing their version of Splatoon, Foam Stars, or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called either, but yeah, it's basically Splatoon.
It's Splatoon with foam, and who cares?
hmm
It's gonna be dismal. Like, it's gonna be bad. The latest in ball dropping, I hope you know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about right now. Rocksteady's Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Oh yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
they had a year to fix this thing. Maybe pivot, but not enough time. Like, they just,
No,
those Arkham
yeah.
games are so awesome, man. And I don't know how they fucked this up so bad.
The last several years, and especially since COVID, this has become a common occurrence where they're releasing games that are broken, they're unfinished. And I remember talking about this in my Pal World versus Pokemon rant. So many companies are finding it acceptable and okay to release a game that is clearly not ready for release and charge you full price.
It's just not the game we want.
That's true. That's another thing. Yeah.
It's live service. We don't want fucking live service Batman games. But yeah, I see what you're talking about. Like Redfall, for example, that was an arcane game. The guys who made Prey and Dishonored and all those great games,
hmm
they were told to make a live service game and also incomplete. So yeah,
Yeah.
it still sucks.
And unfortunately, that's the rarity nowadays. Is a game comes out that's actually complete and done, and oh, it's actually done. It's a complete game. I don't have to worry about like all of the bugs. I mean, yeah, there's going to be some bugs. It's what happens, you know. At the same time, like, and I've mentioned games in the past that should not have been released at all, let alone when they were, you know. But yeah, it's just
I just read a comment here on this article and it says, "That's it. My kid plays so much Fortnite, there's no room in his heart or his spare time to do another live service investment."
well, it's exactly like you said earlier. When you're playing a live service game, that takes up all your time.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, Warframe, all those games are just like that. Yeah, even Destiny. And I know Destiny sucks, and a lot of people are against Destiny, and it's still one of those games you can easily sink hours and hours and hours into it. It seems like a bad choice for companies, like they're competing over a very limited resources.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me that companies would do something like that. I would think they would know. They're the ones making these games.
And most of those games shut down after like a year or two because there's no one playing them.
Yeah.
I mean, the same could be said for Battlefield and Call of Duty. Like those are live service games that only last about a year because the next one comes out
Yeah.
to give you the same shit.
Yeah. For the $70 or $80 price tag. Yeah.
The most played Battlefield game right now is Battlefield 1,
I
I
think so.
think,
Yeah.
right?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Fanboys tell me.
yeah.
I know Battlefield started out as a great fucking game. I played Battlefield when it was called Battlefield 1942.
hmm
Back in 2002, 2003, I was playing that shit in LAN centers.
Parties. Yeah. yep.
Not parties, at a center where I had to pay money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where I had to pay money
Oh, yeah.
to use somebody else's computer because my computer couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And that was 64 players on one map, and it was amazing. Yeah, it just seems like everything that we like now is being turned into a live service because the execs are just like, hey, these guys love this franchise. If we turn it into a live service thing,
Yeah.
they'll just fucking eat it up. It's depressing, man. Like, it just sucks.
Well, to me, it's as if they're looking at these games like Fortnite, like Monster Hunter, like Warframe, like Destiny, and they're saying, "Oh, this idea, this strategy works for them. Let's adopt it too." They don't think about their player base. They don't think about the type of game they have.
Yeah.
It's not one size fits all when it comes to gaming. You know, you have to think about there's certain player base you're going for at this rate. And that player base has limited resources, has finite resources. Now everyone wants to compete over this finite resource. You're all going to lose.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense in two ways. One, it doesn't work for the games, this type of games you're putting out. And two, why not make your games unique?
I mean, the way you're describing them, it's mirroring crypto.
Yeah, exactly.
First Bitcoin, and then Ether, and then all this other, and Dogecoin, and all this stuff. And it's like everyone's just making their own crypto. What was the point?
Mm-hmm.
You guys fucked up crypto. You should have just stuck to one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like absolutely just destroyed them. Everything imploded. I think it's never going to happen, but I think it needs to go back to the days where like single player franchises, like say the Arkham series, if you want to add multiplayer, it should be secondary.
Yeah.
I really think about it. If Arkham Knight was Arkham Knight, and then they were like, we have a multiplayer mode where you can play as the Bat family in Arkham Knight, and it's just fuck around or, you know, have some small PvP modes. I don't even know how that would work, but
yeah,
if they did that, I feel like they would get more longevity out of that because it's just like a side thing to an already great game.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why everyone was so pissed with The Last of Us Part 1, the remake.
Yeah.
They took out factions.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, where's our factions? And then they're like, oh, don't worry, it's coming as a live service. And everyone was like, we don't fucking want that. And Bungie went over to the Sony studios to give them some pointers. Like, this is not good. And they fucking canned it.
Yeah.
So it was like, if you would have just put factions into the Part 1 remake, even if it was bare bones and maybe like one or two modes, it would have been fucking great. People would have been like, yes, factions. I just want this. This is great. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like nobody back in the day was like, Conker's Bad Fur Day sucks because the multiplayer wasn't a live service. They pulled the multiplayer part of the 64 and they put it into Conquer Live and Reloaded, and it's the same fucking game.
Yep.
It's the same game with the multiplayer stuff, and people loved it. Like, come on.
Well, another thing that comes to mind for me as far as like single player versus multiplayer was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities, but it's also so different that you're almost playing two different games.
And it's the same map.
Yeah, but it was done well enough that yeah, if you like the single player, play the single player. If you prefer the multiplayer, play that. And I know people who preferred the multiplayer over the single player, and that's fine. Personally, definitely preferred the single player, the campaign and everything. But to have that option, I'm going to get on with my buddies and just fool around and have some fun. You can absolutely do that.
And Rockstar abandoned it. They just like,
Yeah,
we're making too much money on GTA 5. Fuck Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I just needed to get this adrenaline out that you built up on the video that's coming out next week. That's a cliffhanger for you guys. What?
Yep.
How did Noise get so built up? I feel like you and me are Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street, and we just smoked crack. Like we just smoked crack, and we need to go sprint real fast.
Exactly. Yep. I definitely think that the live service gaming is a very niche community in gaming. Yeah, you might say, oh, there's a lot of people who play Fortnite. There's a lot of people who play Monster Hunter. There's a lot of people who play this, that, and the other thing. It's like, yeah, but those are the games they play.
Yeah.
If you come across a streamer who plays Fortnite, that's pretty much usually what they play. And the same with Warframe and same with Destiny and all those games. They might have little games here on the side here and there, but
yeah,
game studios, if there's 500 of them, they're just shooting themselves in the foot and they don't even know it.
A lot of fucking studios.
Like I know there's a lot of studios that make games and stuff, and there's a lot of sub studios and all that stuff, but like I can't even imagine that many studios making games nowadays. It's insane.
When I picked this subject, I Googled live service games.
Mm-hmm.
And then the top thing is a Reddit thing from 4 years ago. But then right underneath that is that Kotaku article. And that was the headline. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was already pissed.
Yeah.
When I saw that headline, I was pissed. And I was like,
yeah.
Anyways, fuck live service games. Just stop. Too fucking many.
Mm-hmm.
Too many.
Yeah.
You don't have the fucking resources to keep the servers up. You don't have the patience to give your community what they want. And you're going to go fucking out of business. There's not enough people in the world to play live service games to keep them alive.
Yeah.
You have to be online for Warframe. You have to be online for Destiny. You have to be online for Fortnite. You have to be online for Diablo 4. You have to be online for all of those.
Yeah.
So technically, Monster Hunter is not a live service game because it doesn't have to be online. That's it. I'm done. Like and subscribe.
Time for us bad guys to save the world.